Jake from State
What's
Farm?
up, Wolf Packers?
She's not the one for
And
you.
we're
Sure,
here
she's
in the
got that
movie
cool
theaters,
apartment, that
and we're
brand
gonna
new
do
car.
a review on Birds
She
of
doesn't have
Prey.
good insurance.
Spoiler free.
She's not gonna protect all
No
her stuff with State
spoilers.
Farm.
Check it out.
How's she
12
gonna
bucks
protect
gets
her
you
heart?
A Harley Quinn mallet popcorn holder.
You want the real
mallet
deal?
of popcorn.
Like the
It
good
also
neighbor?
comes with a
State
lid.
Farm is there.
Stick around, guys. We got the whole family with
You
us
could even
today.
use it as a prop.
Yep, pretty cool. 12 bucks.
Today started like any other.
Go check it out. Walking out of the theater, guys, just saw Birds of Prey, the emancipation of Harley Quinn.
It was really funny.
Super cool. A lot of F-bombs, but here's our shirt for today. A lot of F-bombs, but in good taste. In good taste, right? Stick around. We'll take you guys back to headquarters and show you or tell you what we thought of it. Deuces. Choose your side. DC, Marvel, blind packs. Says it's worth over $20 in there. Or you can do the old-fashioned way. Leave a comment below what you would pick. I like that baby Groot. Thor, Fat Thor. Look, Captain Marvel hiding out in the back. Leave a comment below as to what you would like from this box. Hit it, bug. Oh, almost got her brother.
I pulled her by the
Get out of the way.
Almost got Aquaman's butt, and then you almost got her by the hair.
I pulled Harley by the pigtail.
Number 2.
Aquaman, get your butt out of here.
Ah!
I almost had her.
All right, Killer Mike going for the blind pack. Ah, it played us. DC and Marvel played us. All right, guys, the Wolf Mom's gonna attempt it. Who you going for?
I'm gonna just go for Aquaman's butt, I think. It seems the easiest. Alright. I want that thing to stop moving around so I just get a straight shot. They're playing me.
The Wolf Mom is notorious for being addicted to these games.
I'm so good. Oh.
I would go for that one, but that's just me.
Almost.
Not even. That looks like it's above her head.
Yeah.
Stop moving. Oh, Ravine. Ravine.
All right, got my lucky token, my favorite token. Comment if you've ever won one of these before.
Or comment if we're just wasting our money. You did it! You freaking jerk, you did it!
All right, you're our only hope, Mike. Our last token. $7 in, no wins. That's all she wrote. This is a little moneymaker, man. Back at headquarters. All right, guys, so we're going to give you guys a quick rundown of the movie. It was called Birds of Prey, as you know.
It was directed by Kathy Yan and produced by Margot Robbie.
Yeah, she's branching out. She's getting away from just being an actress and letting her do some production. And she's also produced another movie too, so it's not her first time. The budget on this one was $91 million by Warner Brothers.
And the box office gross is $188.4 million.
Yeah, at the time of recording this video, it's technically you would call it a success. A movie has to double its budget in order for it to be profitable for studios, because you have to account the advertisement, all the publicity they do. I don't know how doubling its budget would make it profitable, but that's the way Hollywood will decide whether it makes a sequel to it or not. If it can double its budget, then it's profitable and they'll make another one. So this one's got a Rotten Tomatoes score of 78. That's pretty decent, pretty accurate. Would you say that?
And the movie's original name is Birds of Prey and the Fabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn.
Yeah, so originally that was the name coming out when they were doing the press, when they were doing the publicity for it, and then after the first week of running in theaters, they pulled the name and changed it to Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey. Harley Quinn being, you know, the icon, just the status, and anyone you hear Harley Quinn and you're gonna automatically think of A, Margot Robbie, or two, just, you know, the Joker's side chick.
And now let's move on to the cast. Ella J. Bacco plays Cassandra Cain. She's only 13 and hasn't been in that much movies.
Yeah, she's got a handful of TV shows and maybe one other movie to her name, but like we said, 13. If you're 13 years old and you're able to hang with Margot Robbie and the likes of people like that, I'd say that's pretty good.
Then we have Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Huntress. She is in Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah, the very first thing that I saw her in was in the Final Destination movies, Part 3, the one with the roller coaster. And yeah, she's been in a handful of movies. Other than those, she was in the Die Hard series. She played John McClane's daughter, Lucy. But that's like towards the back end when the movie started to suck. But she still played John McClane's daughter nonetheless. But my personal favorite movie that I've ever seen her in, she played Ramona in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Check that movie out. That's a good movie. Way ahead of its time. Came out back in 2010.
Then we have Rosie Perez as Renee Montoya. She was in Living Color.
Way back in my era, we had In Living Color, and she was a choreographer for the dance sequences for the Fly Girls. Side note, if you didn't know, a lot of people know, but Jennifer Lopez was a Fly Girl. So people say without the Joker, you wouldn't have Harley Quinn. Without Rosie Perez, you wouldn't have J-Lo. So there you go.
And she also voiced Click in Go Diego Go.
Yeah, that's way back. I know you guys are old kids now, but my young kids remember Click.
Not me.
White Men Can't Jump was another one that shot her to superstardom back in the early 90s. I want to say 92. I could be wrong. Maybe 93. And then I know my stoners remember her in Pineapple Express. Good movie.
Then we have Journey Smollett Bell as Black Canary.
You know, when we were watching this movie, originally I thought she was like a UFC fighter or some kind of martial artist that they found somewhere and was like a beautiful girl that can kick butt. Because she was just, man, those kicks, right? Mm-hmm. She's just kicking everybody's butt. Later on after the movie, we looked her up. What did we find on her?
We found out that she was that annoying little girl in Jack.
She was, and that got my wheels turning. But before that, I saw her filmography. She did a few episodes of True Blood, 19 episodes to be exact, and which is crazy because I watched True Blood, but I couldn't remember her in that. And then she was also Friday Night Lights, the TV show. I never watched that one, but when we saw that she was in Jack, that got my wheels turning. I was like, wait a minute, that was Michelle Tanner's friend from Full House.
I can see it now.
Totally. The same face, the same eyes. Full House actually had a bunch of people that became famous now. Obviously her. Then she had a friend named Teddy, On Full House, they showed Teddy's sisters, which turned out later to be Tia and Tamara. They ended up getting their show. Teddy got a show. I think it was called Smart Guy. I don't remember if the sisters carried over to Smart Guy, but he was on a show too. And then Hanging with Mr. Cooper, which was a spinoff of Full House. So a lot of people, Jonathan Brandis. There's a couple guys there's one guy for sure from 10 Things I Hate About You. His name escapes me right now. But yeah, a lot of people pass through the halls of Full House.
Then we have Ewan McGregor as Roman Sionis, aka the Black Mask.
Yeah, the Black Mask, so this movie they're kind of like street level, right? He's a street level criminal, and he's not super power, he doesn't have super anything telepathy or anything like that, but just basic street level guys that they're fighting in this one.
Just like the Joker.
Just like the Joker, no special powers.
Did you guys know that his black mask was carved from his mom's coffin?
That's freaky. If that ain't freaky, I don't know what is. Now, he's played by one of my favorite actors, Ewan McGregor. Everybody knows him as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
He was also in the live-action Beauty and the Beast as the voice of Lumiere.
Yep, he was sitting in there. He's got some singing chops. He was actually in Moulin Rouge, too, as a singer. I've never seen it, but I know he was in it. And then Black Hawk Down, another one of my favorites. He was in that one too. And we're not promoting the channel because they're not paying us any money. But Disney Plus will have a spin-off show for Obi-Wan Kenobi. So check that one out.
And he was also in a movie that came out about 2 months ago, Stephen King's Doctor Sleep, aka The Shining Part 2. He plays older Danny.
Rat Ram.
Murder spelled backwards.
Yeah. Check that one out if you guys haven't already. Now it's time for everyone's favorite homicidal maniac with a heart of gold.
We have Margot Robbie as the Harley Quinn.
Margot Robbie is an Australian-born actress. Started out making soap operas in her native Australia, was in 353 episodes of Neighbours, ran from 2008 to 2011. Americans first learned about her when she played the wife of Leonardo DiCaprio in The Wolf of Wall Street. That's a good one. Check that one out if you're over 18.
She was also in I, Tonya, and Mary, Queen of Scots.
Yeah, if you ever wanted to know what Margot Robbie looked like if she wasn't attractive, watch her play Queen Elizabeth, and it'll blah. Then
you have her in The Suicide Squad, coming out in 2021.
Yep, 2021, it's going to be like a soft reboot, and it's going to be directed by the same director from the 3 Guardian of the Galaxy's movies, James Gunn. So if you like that kind of feeling of a movie, that kind of pace, that's what it's going to be. I think it's going to be a good one. But now to the movie at hand. On a scale of 1 to 10, where would you rate this movie?
A 9.
A 9. That's not bad. What would have made it a 10 for you?
If they would cast a different person for Montoya, because I think for Rosie Perez, they just got her because she's too old. They could have put Evangeline Lilly as Montoya.
Yeah, I love me some Evangeline Lilly. Yeah, that would have been just so much pretty on the screen if they would have cast her. I mean, Rosie Perez in her day was pretty hot too. She's 55. So, I mean, not to say that you can't look good at 55, but, Evangeline Lilly. No, but they definitely needed somebody Latin. So, J-Lo maybe would have been too much money, or they would have, it's a Harley Quinn movie, so you can't have it starring J-Lo, but I get it. Yeah, maybe somebody slightly younger to play Montoya. I don't know. For me, I like the pacing of the movie. They do a little bit of time jumping but not like years back. Though they actually do this thing where it's 4 minutes ago. They've time jumped that far behind. So, and then the way they introduce characters, you know, they just randomly introduce a person, give them a quick backstory, all within about 25 seconds. It's quick, so you're not losing time on the pacing of the story just to introduce character A, character B. They do it a little too much. I think they introduce something like 9 characters, but that's the way you world build in these movies. With Suicide Squad, if you remember when they were trying to introduce, it's a lot of people to introduce them, give them a full-blown story and things like that. So they kind of fixed it. Things I liked about it were the soundtrack. Really good music. Maybe not as good as Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad soundtrack was probably the best thing about the movie.
One was even made by Doja Cat. Why don't you say so? Didn't even notice your punches that you roll with.
TikTok.
I highly recommend the movie to you all.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. You know, if you're still on the fence about it, go catch it at a matinee. You know, it's been out for about 3 weeks now, so the hype around it should be down, but it's still a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
It gets the Wolfpack seal of approval. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for us. As per usual, leave us a like if you enjoyed the video. Smash that red button, subscribe. Share it with the homie, share it with the friend, like we said last time. You know, just talk to your neighbor down the street and be like, hey, man, you guys heard about the Wolfpack? Try that out and see if it works. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us here today. Deuces.